Welcome back to week 15. Coach S here. Just have a couple things that I want to go over real quick. First of all, school's going to be starting next week. Sports are going to be starting in 2 weeks. So for all of you that have been here with us for the last few months, thank you. Thank you for all the work that you've been putting in. Thank you for the feedback that you've given to us. Thanks for getting better and helping us get better. If you haven't been following along with us, you still have a couple weeks. Try and get in as much as you can. Still try and prepare for when we come back. Because as we now know, there's going to be sports. We don't quite know exactly how it's going to go yet as of this filming, but they're going to be here and you got to be ready. So thank you for everything. Other than that, this week we're continuing our challenge week. Last week we did our testing, and we did, on the second and third days, we did a 600 rep challenge. Those squats, step-ups, push-ups, paint can curls. You guys should have done it last week. This week we're doing the exact same thing, except it's going to be a 900 rep challenge. So last week was days 2 and 3. This is going to be days 1, 2, and 3. So an additional day of that challenge. If you did it last week, hopefully you were timing each workout and the entire time. So you should have a little bit of feeling for it. Compete with yourselves, compete with everyone around you. Try and beat your times each day and try and beat that overall time. Obviously you're not going to beat a time for 2 days, for 3 days. Maybe you will, that would be amazing. But with everything, try and compete. Get better, get better, get better. School's coming up, sports are coming up. That's all I've got. Coach Claire is going to take it from here.
Hi everybody, Coach Claire here. As Coach S was just saying, we're heading back to school, heading back to our athletics. These are good things that we're moving into. Just a reminder, as you work on your challenge this week, make sure again your time is getting better, but don't compromise your form on each of those exercises. You know my drum beat when we're in the weight room, it's the same when we're out there working on your own. Keep your form solid, okay? All right, social distancing's still been a challenge, and as I say, even though we get back to school and back to our athletics, things just won't be the same. And I think to help us cope with that, to help us all cope with this new set of doing things, I want us to think about 5 questions that we should be asking ourselves each day to help us deal with this new normal, as they call it. First question is, what am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for today? Too often we don't think about that. You know, there's books written and stories written about, you know, prisoners of war and how they've survived these things. You know, a couple weeks ago, Coach S was talking about John McCain and how he went through some of those struggles with grit, as we talked about that. But one of the things that you'll find a commonality in those survival stories is being grateful, finding a way to be grateful, even for those small things. It's that daily gratitude that we need to stay focused on. So make a list each day. What are you grateful for today? And don't be afraid to share that list with friends, family. Question 2, who am I checking on? And who am I connecting with each day? You know, they talk about this social distancing. It isn't social distancing that we needed. What we need is social solidarity along with physical distancing. That's what we needed to be doing and thinking that way. Social solidarity combined with physical distancing. So with that being said, when we got to physically distance, can we find maybe at least 3 people that we maybe need to check in on today? Maybe an elderly relative, maybe that elderly person next door that you know lives alone. Checking in on them, making sure they're okay. Making contact with teammates that are friends. As importantly, make contact with teammates that may not be your friends, but make contact. Question 3 that you should ask yourself each day: what are my expectations of so-called normal? And what am I letting go of today? You know, it seems like everything that we've grown to get comfortable with is changing. All our routines, everything, and it's tough. And as we said earlier, going back to school, while that's good, getting back into athletics is good, it's not going to be the same. We need to let go of some of these expectations of normalcy. There's a science fiction novelist, and her name is, I want to get this right, Octavia Butler. And she's quoted as saying this: the only thing of lasting truth is change. And the faster we let go of our expectations of what is normal, or what we expect is normal, the better we're going to adapt to the natural flow of change. Question 4 for you. How am I getting outside today? Sunshine, fresh air, great for the system, great for us physically, for our nervous system particularly. Just simply leaving the house is so important. To get outside. Take 10 minutes to enjoy the sunshine, breathe in some fresh air. If nothing else, in the evening, go out and enjoy the stars and the moon as they come out in the dark. But enjoy being out in those fresh air times. It really gives us a different and clear perspective on things. If you can't get outside, at least open a window and take in some of that fresh air. Do that each day. And question 5, you know I'm going to say this: how am I moving my body? Physical activity is critical, as you know. Doing our workouts, really critical in getting ready for the season coming up. No matter what it looks like, we want to be ready. But all of this change, it drives us crazy, and there's a lot of stress that fills our lives. Being physical is a great way to relieve some of that stress. The endorphins that are created as we are physical beings helps us with a sense of well-being. And so I encourage you to, again, continue your workouts. Work hard at this 900 rep challenge this week. Share it with your friends. Think about those 5 questions. What am I grateful for? Who am I checking in on? What can I let go of that I think is normal? Am I getting outside, and am I moving my body? Do that each day. Let's get ready for the season coming up. Talk to you next week.